Gaming. It is day 3 of Island Raid for October of 2023, and there's been quite a bit going on still. Honestly, cannot complain about the level of activity still going on by day 3. Normally, at this point, you have a lot of a lot of islands already determined. So this is really nice that there's still quite a bit of fighting going on. Let's see. I'm going to put that in the chat, in the world chat, and boom. And without further ado, let's take a look at some of that action that's going on. Heading over into G1. G1, HNB has not been pushed back. They still control half of the map, and it's honestly been great to watch that. And HNB is actually further entrenching themselves around the level 8, so it's going to take more to get them out of it. At this point, I don't think Boone or DHX would benefit at all from trying to push them back. They would be better off trying to take this level 8 and holding it for whoever wants to hold it. Granted, that is going to make HMB rally it all the way up until the very end, but I still think they're better off trying to do that than to push HMB out of its defensive position. Because right now, none of the towers that they're touching would break a significant amount of territory. And they're currently bridging this section right here to make sure that these towers don't do anything. So, HMB showing they know what they're doing. Now, Boone did own quite a bit of this U-shaped territory right here. However, from what I understand, there was a blunder around a tower on this side where one of the members, where they lost the tower, it started burning, and then without garrisoning the tower again, they immediately stopped the burn. So that was a huge mistake to have been made, because as soon as you remove the burning on a tower, it sets a timer to where you can't do that again. And because it wasn't garrisoned, HNB noticed this and hit it again. So now they're waiting on a tower's timer, and it's burning to the ground. I believe the timer is at 20 minutes. So most, if not all, of the tower is completely burned after that 20 minutes, to the point where there's really not much saving it. So, sizable blunder there, but they are still controlling a little bit over half of the level 8 on both sides. So, it's still anyone's game. It's still anyone's game. Now, there has been some fighting along the south side as well. HNB, Spec, and Hot 9 were fighting around in this area here. I assume to get some points amongst themselves, because, let's face it, none of these three alliances are holding a candle to HNB. And then there's also RPG and Mink up here. It appears as if Mink is building straight over to RPG's level 6. So it'll be interesting to see how these two alliances fight against each other, because these are about even. RPG's got experience on Mink, but Mink has power. So let's see, what's the age on that? See, I think 41 for Mink, and I think RPG is still region 5. Let me make sure. Region 3, my bad. So yeah, region 3 definitely has experience, and Mink is region 41 and has a bit more power. So it'll be interesting to see how those two alliances will fight each other. All in all, G1 still active. Love it. This isn't the best matchmaking it could be, but this is definitely a lot better than it has been. Let's take a look at G2. Now, we've got G2 with not a lot of change. HNT has gotten quite a bit closer to the fight now, but I'm curious how that's going to pan out. BTW still hasn't been able to break through ROK, understandably. Defense is still far better than offense by a wide margin. Evil is looped around, but they aren't able to directly fight BTW, and ROK has cut off their ability to get around this mountain. So it's a direct one-on-one fight between BTW and ROK for that level 8 when it finally does open. Now, ROK has finally gotten backtracked to get their 6 and their 7. Evil has their 6, and they are keeping NDPC from getting close to the level 8. AOW has made strides around this. I don't understand why they haven't taken the 7. It's likely due to a points agreement. But AOW, I know, has some weight to throw around when they do fight, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. It's a bad matchup. We'll be going over that kind of thing today, where you're making mistakes in troop composition. Anyways, moving on. Now, if I remember correctly, G3 didn't have a lot going on yet, but it was one of those ones where we were going to see some action towards the late game. And we do have one alliance touching, which is good. We have K815, who has done a lot of building. LAS was looking really good. They had built down to this level 7, if I remember correctly. I think this is theirs. Yes. Had built down to the level 7 and around it, but it looks as if K815 and Ping have pushed them back all the way to their helipad. Working together, I am not surprised on that one bit. Lion has their gathering spot. CSWU, I am sure, is very happy to be able to actually move now. They were held back hard against LAS. And now they've taken a lot of the position away from LAS. Along the south side here, you have TK84 and R137. It appears to... No, they don't appear to be fighting right now. So I'm interested to see if they are actually... if they made some kind of truce. R137 has pushed back WTO quite a bit. I don't know if they'll try and push them all the way back to the 6. But we will see as the match goes on. But currently the only one around the level 8 is K815. So this may be one of the only islands where it's already determined at this point. We don't know what agreements have been made, so we'll find that out later, but it looks as if things have already been decided. Now, my region here in G4. This has been one of the most exciting islands I've been in. The matchmaking has been phenomenal here, and despite being overwhelmed, I am perfectly happy with the outcome of this. Yesterday, we had HLoon, 2 Hot, LTF, and RVSS all packed around here against NBD, us, and Pods. Since then, DH has pushed RVS back to their level 6, and Pods has been pushed back to their level 6 by HLoon. There's been a lot of fighting going on for the past 24 hours, and now it is currently a 1v3 situation around this level 8 with us against LTF, 2 Hot, and HLoon. And I'll be honest, HLoon is the primary reason we're getting held back. 2 Hot and LTF have the troops, and if it wasn't such a troop majority over us right now, with it being a 3v1 situation, I think the outcome would be a lot different. However, I do believe H-Loon fights on our level, and having the additional backup from 2 other alliances makes a difference. Here, and I'll show you what I mean. And you can. This is reflected in the points for the alliances. Not personal. HMB, DHX, completely understand them being in the top. ROK, definitely understand. These are alliances you expected to see. Thank you, Smoke Alt, for letting me know that my stream was muted in the last one. I let my kids get in here, and apparently they unplugged my microphone without me knowing. So, thank you for that. Anyways, back to it. G4, NBD placing as well as we are, I am happy with that. Between us and pods, we're taking 7 and 8, with H-Loon at 10. With the other alliances aren't really showing up here. LTF, 2 Hot, RVSS, and DH. Let's see where they are in points. As far as kill points, because that's where most of the fighting is happening. Is in kills. See, they're just not here. H-Loon is doing a hell of a job on defense and on offense. And pods helping us out has made this a lot more fun around this point. And we're definitely not ready to give up yet. We're going to see exactly what we need to do to continue fighting, and hopefully we can make another pass at that level 8 for when it opens in a couple of days. So we're not done yet. We're going to fight like hell to make sure this level 7 doesn't get taken from us, and it doesn't look as if pods is quite done yet either. They just got pushed back. So we will see how things go with the rest of this island. And to round out the top 5, you have the high-end 200s regions. 147 is showing why Federation age is so important. The next oldest region is in the 190s, and 147 having access to more heroes and likely better upgraded heroes is making a big difference here. There's only so much of a gap that money can cover, especially if you don't have the heroes to back them up. But looking at the rest of this, GTR is no longer allowed to play. I'll take a look at that tower in a second. I think that's the one that Catboy just pushed everybody out of. But yeah, GTR, not allowed to play anymore. Edge is right on the edge of GTR. They've taken the level 7, and it looks as if they're pushing around. I'm very curious what the plan is here. It looks as if they may try and cut straight up and cut them off, as opposed to fighting them head on. Don't know why, but it's their island. Ah, thank you. RIP, not allowed to play. KQST has been pushed back. If I remember correctly, RIP was the one pushing them back for a while. And then it looks as if Syndicate said, no, you're not allowed to do that. But now Syndicate is over here pushing them back of their own accord, so the enemy of my enemy is not always your friend. Now, I don't think 147 is going to have an issue holding this position. I really don't. Let's face it, defense is still overpowered until they make a super squishy, super powerful commander. Like, honestly, at this point, I would take one that reduces defense on siege but increases attack against, like, infantry troops. Just be that blatant about trying to win a rally that you go that far into it, you know? So, anyways, let's go take a look at some of my messages in the YouTube channel as well as Discord to see if there are any regions that people are asking me to check out. There was one I missed yesterday that I'm going to catch this time. Mark Funnel, I am checking out G14 now. Okay, so we have IDNO. Look at you all go. We just faced them in Darkseal, and they are commanding this region. Oh, crap, I gotta check. Yeah, we don't have anyone there. Yeah, Catboy pushed everybody back from there. It's just too far for defensive purposes right now. Okay, so IDNO circling the level 8 and look to be pushing, making sure that Vex doesn't get a chance to push towards the level 8. 59N is building on two fronts. They have stopped building towards the level 6. Are they building up this way? Did they push back IDNO? Yes, they did. IDNO had come down here at some point and have since been pushed back. So maybe there will be some additional fighting around that level 8 before too long. Then you've got VGRB taking the 6 from HSU and their own 7. Kamikaze. Did I? Yeah, no, I can't really tell. I can't read that language. Appear to be heading directly over to the level 7 from here, but looks like they might be making a circle first. Who knows? Socket is not allowed to play, despite their best efforts. They are building down this way and connecting old territory, but it'll be interesting to see if they try to do anything with it. I'm trying to think. This tower here would cut off territory would cut off the entire territory from 7 all the way over to the level 6, so that may be the end goal there. Are they speed building this? No, not in the slightest. Okay, so not too much going on right now, but it does look like 59N might make a run for the level 8 before the match is over. Close out of that, open up Discord. Now, from Discord, I don't think there's anybody that's asked me to look at any other regions. I did post I am posting all of my videos in the Island Raid Assemble for Island Raid chats. I have my own Mr. Brain stream night in Epic Battles and Island Raid, so you can also reach out to me there. with that being said, let's go hang out in my own region for a little while. Now, I do have a little bit of time, and someone was asking me to make a video about this, but I believe what I'm going to do right now... Oh, I gotta get rid of this channel. Let's see. Trying to remember which one was asking me that. Oh, here it is. Hugh James. Hugh Janus was asking if I could go over how to read a battle report. And someone else ended up asking me the next day why their team ended up losing despite having more troops. And upon reading it, I got a pretty good reason why from being able to just look at the information, so we'll go over this together. First things first, you see that they outdid them in troops by over 50,000 and came out way behind and heavily wounded, which is to be expected. When you go from that many troops and end up losing, well, you have a certain percentage of them that are going to be heavily wounded. Almost won that fight, but let's try and figure out why. As far as the equipment here, it does look like he has them in parts. It's spread out with, and considering we're only looking at the ranged parts, we can look at the pants and the boots being 1 star, 0 star, and then the backpack 3 star, compared to 2 star, 2 star, 0. If we look at parts, you have 5 green parts here with no green parts in there. So automatically we're looking at likely a stat buff, a stat difference. Looking at the armaments, I've been, as a mostly free-to-play player, I have been enjoying the stat bonuses from purple armaments more so than gold. They're just easier to get, because you can star up purple and in some cases blue a lot easier than you can gold. A lot easier. I have 2 full sets of infantry gear. One is purple, one is gold. My full set of purple is far better than my full set of gold. Just hands down. But anyways, let's see if there's any mistakes made here. You see damage dealt to zombies, that doesn't need to be there. Infantry squad defense doesn't need to be there. Garrison isn't helping. Infantry and rally counter damage aren't helping. So already we're seeing a lot of wasted potential. Their squad block is fine, but rider block would have been better. Here we've got rider, squad defense, and travel speed both fine on a Catherine Cynthia setup. Travel speed, there's nothing that you can get wrong here because it's giving you basic damage and rider squad defense. It's just not going to be great. Squad attack, perfectly fine. Rider. So here's another one where the stats are going to make a difference because the hone abilities, the hone attributes, have not been done properly. Even if he does technically have better armaments, the hone attributes haven't been done to a point where they'll actually benefit. Now, let's get into the real reason why they lost. This is the squad buff screen. It lists all of your stat buffs by percentage in order from infantry, rider, ranged, engine, etc., and then by attack, defense, and HP. Obviously, since they're running all riders, which actually I didn't check that, running all tier 5 riders versus all tier 5 riders. That's another mistake I have seen made. So infantry stats don't matter. Ranged, engine, don't care. So we're just going to look at the rider buffs. 191 to 222 is a 30% swing. Defense 117 to 32 is what, a 15? And then you've got Rider Squad HP of 111 to 130. So you have about a 30, a 15, and a 20. That is 65% difference in Rider Squad stats between one side and another. He only had a 50,000 troop difference on him. What did I click to see heroes? Squad buff. It shows you everything. This is the easiest thing that you can read to determine why you lost, why you won. This is the culmination of everything about these two armies. That doesn't include the actual fight itself. So yeah, you can see the star level, the skill levels, whether they've been awakened or not, so on and so forth. So already seeing 65% swing between one side's riders to another. Then you come down here, there's also squad damage reduction, skill damage, because she's using this person is using Catherine as the lead, which has the skill tree, which gives a lot of skill damage buffs. And both have even block. There's a little bit extra lethality here. So just doing quick math, 200,000 to 262 is only a 25% difference in troops, but they have a 60% advantage in stats. If it wasn't as big of a gap, this would have been a fight in Spicy's favor. However, because of the massive difference in stats, Amir came out on top. I will make a separate video to go over that specifically. And here, if you want, I'll just go over this real quickly. Looking at the combat log without expanding anything, this tells you a lot of information. You can check and see how often your skills went off, and it'll tell you when they went off as well. So you can determine not only how lucky you were in the amount of times, but how lucky you were in how condensed the activities were. Because, for example, which one is it? Yeah, High Caliber has a 20% chance to heal lightly wounded troops. So if they start stacking up like this, like 7, 8 went off twice in a row, which really puts a damper in the amount of damage that the enemy is able to do, because you're actually healing during that turn as well. Both of it got off 24 times. Chainsaw Dance, same amount of times. You can just check, and there's a lot of things you can check here. It's a good way to see how often your skills are getting used, and how lucky you are. Removing all of those buttons will allow you to check the round by round combat damage of each side. Green is obviously your side, how many troops you're losing. Enemy is how many they're losing, so on and so forth. As you can see, the enemy had the advantage in damage throughout the fight, while in some cases there was healing to mitigate that. Oh, and here's where things went sideways. The enemy got their skill off first. That's what this little indicator is. Because the enemy got their skill off first, and they dealt over 5,000 troops worth of damage, that makes your allies' attack weaker, because there's less troops to base it off of. Same thing happened here. The enemy got the second skill off, which reduced the attack power of Cool Heroine, no, not Cool Heroine, Dual Fire. reduces the target squad's attack by 30% and travel speed, making sure that any subsequent skill damage is weakened significantly. So, enemy got their Cynthia's skill damage off, which weakened Catherine's by quite a bit. And the enemy never relinquished advantage on basic attack damage or in skill damage. Stayed ahead of them throughout the fight. It looks like there was some movement done by Spicy in order to reset skills. However, it didn't make a difference. Eventually, the troop count started to even out, and it looks like right around here, yeah, no battle taking place because they were moving around, but he was losing. All in all, there's a lot of information you can learn from that, and I will try and make a video going over battle reports and what information you can get from them after Island Raid. But now you have one in the stream. Yep. I think they'll defend it. We can help DH by I am curious about whether or not DH will try and defend that. Anyways. I will scout it. And we can reach that one too. Currently. Oh no, our rally squad was... Oh man. I'll tell you right now, if they leave that one that empty, I'm gonna pop in there and burn it myself. I'll do it. Okay, let's see. Joey the robot had messed up. Hope Jeremy fixed it by solving a simple math problem. No thank you. I'll deal with that later. Oh. Do. Okay. Oh, hold on. I got a friend. Hello. How am I doing on friends? I'm at 92. I'm fine. Agreed. I'm not ready to give up on it yet. As far as member ranking, I'm 14th in my alliance, despite being on the lower end of the totem pole power-wise. Nope, not what I wanted to do. Take advantage of. Well, the thing is, H-Loon has to be drained. As much fighting as they've had to do against us in pods, they can't have as much left as Too Hot does. So, at the very least, if there is some infighting between Too Hot and H-Loon, Too Hot's going to have a troop advantage. .109 with 109 versus 164. Maybe not. It would be interesting. Anyways, if there are any islands you want to see showcased, please let me know. One of these days I'll get this damn cough under control. But it is not this day. Why do people reach out to me on... people try to call me on Discord. I don't show my face. I don't know. Man, I wish my parts were better. Do. Let's take a look at some of the other reports that I had from some field fighting I was doing against Too Hot. Earlier on today, we had Too Hot. I don't know what the purpose was, but they sent full field marches to cover the entire space around these 2 or 3 towers here. But because they were so spread out, I don't know if it was like photo op worthy. Like they were trying to showcase that they had control over our area. And I'll be honest, it looked impressive. However, when push came to shove, they could not hold it. Now, Rise Against has a lot of strength. Let's take a look at his power. $182 million, 324 million kills, and a lot of them are against tier 4, but still great parts. Only 13 million deaths. All in all, he's got strength. His biggest problem is he's just going to throw troops around. Like, this doesn't make sense. In no universe does throwing Maya Martin on the field make sense. Yes, Maya does have a very nice squad attack buff, and since it's not specific to ranged, it does boost Martin's damage and his healing, which is why there was a little bit of healing here. But this wasn't going to last long on the field. Jen Lewis is a great, is honestly a solid rally team for early game, if you've got access to them. It's not the greatest in the field. You've got some people running Cynthia Maxine. They were just trying to get troops out on the field and weren't paying attention to what they were putting out there. This is backwards. Maya should be leading Lewis because of that squad attack damage boosting his AoE damage. Again, same thing here. Actually, this may just be the same person until I got actually in a fight with them. Catherine Cynthia, fine. Saw Jen Lewis again. Tom Martin, perfectly fine. Trying to see if there are any other ones. Rigoro Jaden? No. I've seen Jaden run as a secondary commander to try and hide him with Rigoro. No. Just no. There are better options for hiding a debuff unit behind Rigoro, such as Lee, Alex, Bianca when she's unlocked again, things like that. Jaden isn't it. I saw a couple of these. Hank Peter should be doing rallies. They shouldn't be on the field. I am very much a quality over quantity person. I ran a lot of the fighting that I'm showing you with only 2 troops on the field. Rigoro Thunder and Adut Tom. And that was it. Martin Peter. Anyways. Peter Tom doesn't make a lot of sense. If anything, Tom should be leading this, so they're less likely to get hit. As soon as Peter is seen, he's going to die. Just things like that. Don't make mistakes like that in troop composition, and you're not going, and you won't lose as many troops. Here, let's go through some of the other ones that I had. Here, hiding Lewis with Raigoro makes some sense. Raigoro does give a damage buff when his shield is up, and Lewis can take advantage of that. It's not the greatest, but it's a good way to hide Lewis, if that's the route you want to take. Tom Charlie, I cannot argue with that. As a third unit, I've run a Dut Charlie, which is a lot of AoE infantry damage. Looks like they did manage to capture that settlement. And they just swarmed it. I'm going to scout that one at the same time. See if it's still got no troops left in it. Nope, 718. Somebody put riders and ranged in there. But a T6 player did push his troops in there, even if it is horrible leadership. Part of me still wants to try and go hit it. Even with only 2 troops, I think I would come out on top with that for a little while. Anyways. Nakano, Maya Peter is not it either. I get the reasoning. Because damage buff for Peter's damage, you gave up 10 levels, so let me see if I can see the difference. At level 50, the squad capacity of my Maxine is at 209,000. At level 40, my squad capacity is at 198. That's over 10,000 troops. 10,000 troops can be quite a bit of a difference to try and overcome if you don't have the stats for it. Chalfon, I wish I had some devices. No. Just no. Jaden leading, perfectly fine. CO being in the assistant position with anything other than ranged, absolutely not. See if I can find ones against H-Loon, because they were hitting me a lot harder than... Yeah, this cat... This cat hurts. Cat hurts. Here, caught my Adut Tom out in the open for a little bit too long here. Came out on top in this fight because I targeted the rider unit. But as you can see in my other fights, getting pinged by AoE damage hurt. but these people don't make all of the same mistakes. Nakano should be leading in that case. They don't make all of the same mistakes. Jin Peter should be a rally setup, not field. Tom Raigoro, honestly, Raigoro should lead since they have the same talents, and you can get a damage buff on Tom's skill damage. Can't go wrong with Catherine Cynthia. The Lee Martin is an interesting choice. I get why, but having Lee lead an island raid gets him killed. It's damn near inevitable. A lot of people will avoid infantry commanders with a passion, so if you need to hide something, putting it behind Raigoro, Thunder, or Tom is a pretty safe bet, because a lot of people aren't looking for the secondary commander activations, skill activations. So they're not going to see what you have going on. So if you're wanting to just support your team with like T4 units or weaker Tier 5 units, and you're not using those commanders for whatever reason, throw Raigoro Alex, Tom Lee, Thunder Bianca, things like that on the field, where you're buffing a bunch of people based on percentages. Like Lee, based on a percentage, doesn't care how weak or strong he is. Alex, same thing, buffs based off of percentages. Bianca, my dear, when she comes back, based on percentages. You can make a lot of difference for your allies just keeping those on the field for as long as you can, if you're not doing anything with your other infantry commanders. So if you're running riders or ranged and don't know what to do with your other units, do it. Put your 2 rider or 3 rider units on the field like you want to. Fill that gap with support units, if you want to. Damn, already at 279. Crazy. Oh, you ported down. Let's go see if there's any action in G1 right now. I'll admit, I'm surprised there's not a little bit more action down here, even if only to test for weaknesses. Giving everybody on either side of this the ability to lick their wounds doesn't seem like a worthwhile endeavor. I mean, I would want to make sure that I'm killing off as many troops as I can, but then again, these are whales that don't really care about dead troops. So, might be the case there. Let's see. Kind of a dead stream this time around. I'm sad. Really wish I could use you right now. I'm gonna see something. Oh, in case you didn't already know, Recovery of Pompeii is coming back again this week. I don't know why they're changing the order of operations here. Let me see if I can read off what the update said as far as bringing back Pompeii. In order to provide you with a better gaming experience, we're adjusting the event schedule for the Recovery of Pompeii. An additional round of the event will be run this week, and subsequent iterations of the event will continue to be held every other week from this week onwards. So they're going to be running Pompeii in the off week of Top Commander as opposed to during Top Commander. I don't know what the reasoning for that is. Maybe they were having issues with some of the younger regions starting combat or starting wars when their 30 best players are out, or something along those lines. But to me, I don't see a lot of point in switching this around. Running this in the middle of Island Raid or Alliance League, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. Unless they're prepping for something else, which is entirely possible, because we still don't know what this is. We've gotten no additional information on what Archipelago Raid is. I mean, we've done Recovery of Pompeii, we know what Island Raid is, we know Darkseal. These are all pre-season stuff. Season 1 still has 2 events we haven't heard about. So, the game is still expanding. We're still learning. Maybe we'll find out later. Can't reach it. Man, really pushing back DH. I was expecting them to put up a bit more of a fight, but no. Hello, Stroke. How are you doing today? I'm doing okay. Not a lot of action going on today. People just kind of licking their wounds after all the fighting that's been going on earlier. I want to check out the 170s. Especially that high-end one. Is there anything going on in this one? See, they've already got 2 different alliances touching level 8. With another one look like trying to. Curious what's going on there. SOAR has pushed all the way down to fonts level 6. PHDD hasn't taken anything more than their 6. You've got GBU hasn't taken their 7 yet. Interesting. Maybe they're waiting on someone else to take theirs in order to make sure that they're last. Yeah, we had a lot of field fighting today. So everyone's just kind of relaxing for the evening, it seems like. Good, not really doing too much, maybe playing down here with Pond a little bit. They have pushed Pond off of their own territory, but Good isn't. I'll go take a look at G56 then, Richard. So many different islands now. Honestly, wish I could have a stream that was just running these videos. Not any movement around the level 8. BGM is the only one touching it right now. It looks like, what is this? Heaven's Echo? Oh, Heaven's School. Heaven's School and TBB were fighting around this level 7, and TBB's been pushed back. They used to have this flag here too, and honestly they could probably connect to it and attack the 7 directly. Don't know if they're going to try that though. BKR, bot killers, got pushed back from their territory. I would honestly burn these two. Maybe there's a reason why they're not. Yeah, I was live a half hour ago. But I don't know where all the action is happening until someone tells me. Maybe they can have something set up like they do for Bounty Ground, where you can see the overview of different people in islands and how well they're doing. You have focus battlefields where someone's at an 8-hill combo. Someone's like, you can go in and watch other people play Bounty Ground. I feel like you should be able to do that for Island. It's like, hey, here's a bunch of field fighting that's been reported. And just have it be user input if you wanted to make it easier. Just be like, hey, this island has a lot of combat going on. You should check it out. It'd be perfect for this. As many different islands as there are now, I would love that. Just have either something in the Discord or something in the game where you can put coordinates in to announce, hey, there's fighting going on here, and people can go watch. It would kind of remove the need for people like me to stream the fights, but then again, I provide commentary. Need to remove that. In Dark Seal, I assume? Stroke. Ah, it's you. How'd you do? LTF has a couple of big hitters. I don't think they're on the level of organization that of some of the other alliances, but they definitely have a couple of like real heavy hitters. Let's see if I can The big one's probably down here. There he is. This guy. He knows what he's doing with his troops. He doesn't make the same mistakes that some of the other players have. And I don't think I've had a good trade against him so far, which might be able to find him. Huh, here we go. Okay. Oh, this is when I was doing hit and runs, so can't really count these. This was my counter rally against him, and you can see that even with a 1 million troop advantage, this was the best I could do. Against those trying to swarm me, I was doing better, but that's Kev's. Another counter rally, but that was led by somebody else. Who's a bit stronger than me. Here we go. This was a garrison defense. No? Oh. I had believed that the tower was weak enough for me to be able to hit, and I was pretty much right until I got swarmed. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's all speed. But all in all, I can't complain about the matchmaking at all this time around. It's been so much better than it has been in the past. Even these top islands haven't been completely settled early on. Yes, and I'm very upset about them. Primarily this one. Until I reach 230 days of Federation history, I can't use him, so I've got another month and a half before I can use Robert again. And Robert's my primary damage dealer for infantry. Well, at least Robert Adut is. And while I did get the opportunity to test her out, I can't use her now. So, definitely sad that I can't use some of my better infantry commanders. But in the meantime, I did manage to awaken my Adut, so that gives me 4 infantry commanders that are fully awakened. And I've got another month and a half to work on awakening him, but still got a ways to go there. With, I think it's in the 250 range. I have to sit down and do the math before I can awaken him again. 365? Thank you. I can never remember that off the top of my head. I have it written down in one of the spreadsheets, but so I've got another month and a half to get the stuff to awaken him, and then I can start working on Bianca and Eddie in earnest. I've got them both to their 5111, so they're usable, but they're not great. To be honest, because I know that I'm not the strongest in my alliance, I don't plan on running a lot of infantry siege or infantry rallies myself. And since Eddie is primarily for siege damage and counter damage, he'll probably be the last one I upgrade until new infantry commanders come out. But I am interested in seeing how much damage he can do with this. Just that 44% counter damage. Here, let me see if I can pull up that rally. Because it was a while ago. But I tried running a counter rally with Adut Rigoro as opposed to Adut Tom, just to see how the counter damage would work. And the damage that it dealt was pretty nuts. Yes, all of my infantry stuff is red. Primarily the only parts that I have are in infantry related stats. I don't even have parts for my rider stuff. But yeah, I did not the top commander that I got Bianca and Victor in. I got my last piece of red equipment and my knife. I think it was an H-loon. Trying to think. In terms of order, Victor and Bianca actually switched things up because it was supposed to be another ranged, not another rider commander. But then they came out with Victor and Bianca. So if they go back to the original order, then yes, the next set of commanders should be rider commanders. And then it'll be infantry again. Because the last set before Victor and Bianca was Julia, Jacob. And I've seen Julia used a lot lately. Jacob not so much, which surprises me. But Julia, I believe, was definitely worth it. And of course, Bianca is definitely an S-tier commander. Easy S-tier commander. And then she likely overtakes Lee in terms of order to kill first. So I'll be curious how they're going to top that set of commanders, or what they're going to do with them. Honestly, they haven't made a rider garrison commander. We have ranged garrison, we have infantry garrison, but we don't have rider garrison. And I know there's a few yeah, a lot of marches with Bianca. I mean, look at it. You know they have her awakened. So that's 42 attack, 42 defense for yourself and 5 allies for 4 seconds. If that's not busted enough, she also gives them additional rage, which 60 is right there at that midpoint of giving a lot of teams that extra second off of their skill cycle, and not. So likely you're going to have the commanders that she does affect have their skill cycles go off a second faster. And of course it also works on her. It buffs her stats. And then 3 allies get an extra shield for 3 seconds. Does it last long? No. Does it absorb over an entire hit in most cases? Absolutely. The other skills are primarily for her own benefit, so I wouldn't put too much stock in them. If you were going to run her just as a buff unit, that you wanted to, if you've seen my video where I talk about where heroes plateau as far as skill levels, like trying to use them on a budget, 5115 is perfectly fine for Bianca. Her first skill only affects herself and 3 allies, but even then it's still at 38. and then giving additional shields all around. Nah, she's she's one of the top commanders right now. Let's see. I'm kind of curious how many kills he's got if he's just vacuuming resources. Personal. With overall in, so not surprising. DH lost their 7, but that's it. I'm waiting another 12 hours on some healing. Really want to find that report. No, that was the field fighting that they did. Nope, nope, nope. Nope. Did a lot of damage to that. Nope. That's just ridiculous. I just crossed 1 million with my Rigoro and I'm happy. But 3.5 million? The amount of things you could do with that kind of money. That's that. Nope. Nope. Oh no, you've hidden our ability to see it. Yeah, that was my garrison versus him. Let's see, I think I have a garrison of... Oh, Safe Me? I would not be surprised if he had that. Yeah, not surprised about that at all. I saw him fighting in the field with that thunder. The thing was ridiculous. He was 1v3ing a couple of HMB members out on the field, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And that was on day 1. I know I posted it here. Oh. Smart. I will watch the tower hit. Nothing. Oh, this was a swarm. I was actually just talking to Panda about this yesterday. Jesus. That's insane. And it's not even the maxed out it could be. The fact that he's got this already at 4 stars. He doesn't have all the hone armament. He doesn't have all the hone attributes on this buffed out yet. But still, that's... Yeah, squad attack of 4.5 is the highest you can get with that. You can, once you have it at 5, and any of these have the rare one? No. This isn't even the best you can be. These gold plate ones that have the additional liner on it have the ability to get a rare hone attribute. Let's see if I can find one, because if that's on all of his heroes, I see why, but ugh. It happens. I wish I could have been streaming this during that silly field fight Hot was trying to pull. I should have been. I wish I could have been at my house streaming that. I just could not help but laugh when Hot filled the field with all of those BS marches. Like they were trying to set up for a photo shoot. Yeah, if you took pictures of that for like TikTok or something, that would look impressive as hell. Oh yeah, I saved some of the reports from it, and I was very happy because I wanted to show off hero compositions not to do. Like, don't make this mistake. Or, where was the other one? Or this one. Once I saw some of the marches, and honestly, here, I'll just go ahead and give... Thank you, because I wanted a report from your armaments. Yeah, these are the ones. It may only be 3 stars, but you have the chance of the rare hone attribute on a couple of them. I'm really surprised that... Who was leading this? Oh, we weren't full. even trades there, but everything else is where it hurt. How can they be okay with trades like that? Taking additional damage from Lewis, additional damage from Lewis. Ridiculous. I wish I could save someone else's reports. No, but Hot was literally filled. And here, actually, you distracted me. Where did she go? Where's Wildcat? Because that's who. Because when we were all still over here, I saw Wildcat coming out and hitting one troop, coming back in, hitting one troop. I'm like, did they really just park troops outside of here to see what we would do? Because Wildcat wasn't getting swarmed or anything. They weren't even moving. And I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to pump up my troops and see what I can get. Thank you. She would hop out, hit the one closest to her, get a skill off, come back. And repeated the process. I was like, okay. I came in, hit my buffs. I'm like, I'm going to hit the field. Within like 10 minutes, we had the entire field wiped of all the field troops that they had brought with them. And they weren't even trying to run. I think we had one group from RVSS come over, and between me, Dr. Disrespect, and Dewey, he didn't last long. I think it was Dewey anyway. I know Dr. Disrespect was in there. But yeah, that was a blast. But sadly, I'm at the pharmacy sitting, waiting on prescriptions at the time. Really sad that I didn't get to stream that. Hear anything on... Oh, as far as my lungs, I go into my PCM tomorrow. Probably get an official referral to a pulmonologist. Although I got sent home with a nasal cleanse, and I don't know if you've ever had that chloroseptic spray for your sore throat. They apparently make that in a cough syrup form, and did not warn me ahead of time. So as soon as I went to take a drink of that, I was like, oh, hate that stuff. But honestly, that's one of the benefits of being military. Especially with the Air Force right now. They don't want you to be in the office if you sound like you're hacking up a lung. They gave me a breathing treatment while I was in the office last week. But I haven't gotten anything like that since. The only thing that's come close to that is I've got a rescue inhaler if I have issues breathing. And a very annoying nasal cleanse. But all in all, it's basically been I either go into medical immediately or I go into the office. They listen to me cough for a little while, and leadership's like, no, you go to medical. We don't want to hear that. RVSS is moving forward to start pushing back against And they're getting some additional help. See, they're doing this thing again. They're literally doing it again. Yep, he's got at least the Maya's out front, but that's Maya Martin. That is a Chun Russell. Like, I'm looking at that right. That's Russell, right? Jesus. You've got Lee Peter. You've got Akemi Maya. Literally the wrong order for that. Yeah, they definitely know something we don't. Part of me wants to port over there just to see if I can mess with them the same way we did earlier. Rigoro Adut makes sense. Lewis, Maya, backwards, but okay. I feel like the infantry marches are the ones that make sense. Don't know if it's just there's enough people running infantry that they don't make those kind of mistakes. Here comes a Lee Hank. I've got another one of these. They should definitely do that again. I don't understand their... Is that inexperience? Or is that just I don't care about how much money I have to spend? Because LTF doesn't make a lot of the same, like, troop composition mistakes, but allowing a rally to hit with 800,000 troops is a mistake. Swarming towers, even with 350,000 troops, against a very solid Thunder Lewis combo is a mistake. Let's see. No, he's down here, isn't he? He's 160. So he's from region 120. That's his home region. He didn't port in. He didn't immigrate in. 12 million deaths. Does not care about killing his own troops. So while he doesn't make the same troop composition problems, he doesn't care about the troops in general. But then you get troop composition problems. It's hilarious. It is. I know it's red. All day long with the triple rally swarm, so he probably just assumed from H-Loon's about us being second class. H-Loon can't keep up with us on... In a 1v1 situation, H-Loon, I don't think, could hold us. I don't think they could. If it wasn't for LTF and Too Hot on the side there, we would just simply build around them. We can cover defense from multiple points because that's how we're set up to function. We would just build around them. But there's just so many troops to get through, even if they aren't as hard to kill. It's like the only reason we're getting pushed back as much as we are is just the sheer amount of troops they have to throw at us because it's a 2v4 or a 3v1 situation. That's it. And I pointed this out before, and it's actually funny to look at. Too Hot was calling us second rate, but here you've got us in 7th, Pods in 8th, H-Loon in 10th. Perfectly fine. There's no Too Hot or LTF anywhere in the top 50. Which means they have less than 950 million kills for their alliance. Actually, I think there's a way to check that. Nope. I'm sitting down here sad at 52 million points. Yeah. Oh, it's one other thing I wanted to look at. Yeah, because it was just him primarily that was swarming. I think this one was talking shit in the chat for a little while, but I was kind of ignoring it because it was old junior level of talking shit. Empty as... that's a new one. Empty as a tramp's wallet. It's hilarious. I'm down 6 million power from all of this. But I think... you know, let's see how I'm doing as far as my aid station. Yeah, I don't have much in my aid station. The woes of being a defensive character. What do we got here? What? What is this? Oh, okay. I was going to say, what were they trying to do here? In 15 seconds, not much. Did he just think that he was going to be able to swarm it down because there wasn't a lot of people in it at once? Because I was honestly thinking... I've thought of that reasoning before. Like, I just thought about doing that myself with this tower here. Let me scout it again. They probably filled it up since. Hey, Z, did you see that? I'm gonna send it to you. Damn. Okay, that's just cruel. You barely lost 100,000 troops. You killed over 1 million. 6 places at Region 159 I was talking about with 9 VIP, 16 whales. And we've scored just behind them. Yes, we have. I want to just pour it in and see how much damage I could do. So curious. Pulling. Let me get my mass deploy ready. I've only got 2 solid units I can use right now, but I will buff. Squad expansion, march, mass deploy, 3. Overwrite. Okay, and relocate. They're going to leave it with only 400,000 troops in it. We can't just not take advantage of that. The other one's got 1.2 in it, sadly. But yeah, great trades there. I'll take that. You probably got a lot more skill damage off of it. Yeah, I figured you would. You have higher skill damage than I do. And I feel like it's either the higher your attack power, the higher the amount of damage you do, the higher the rate of deaths there are. Which would make sense because you're overwhelming your target's HP, causing more heavily wounded and I don't think they really care about this tower, though. I don't know how ballsy you're feeling. Where's that one? Oh, we can't touch that one yet. I don't think we can reach that one. Our current flag doesn't extend past our territory, so even if this one goes away, it won't touch that one. And same with this one. It stops there. I mean, it's up to you. I'm more than happy to burn just a little bit more. That 800,000 being guarded by only a Rigoro Martin does seem tempting with your tier 6 backing it up. No, they're not doing anything. I will hit it with Rigoro Thunder first, and then we can go nuts. There. Making this look easy. Love it. Damn. I'm gonna sit on this one. I think Athena I can take. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can take Athena. Low on troops. Her Cynthia only had 110k in March. Uh-oh, there's a too hot March outside of there. Just to make sure Athena didn't sneak in while I wasn't looking. And thank you for the coverage, Z. I don't mind taking the deaths. Oh no. Nice. Down to 194. C's going to send troops in there and honestly make it weaker. Because at 30 million, I think you're dealing with tier 4. And the trades on this are so far in our favor, it's not even funny. Nice try, C. Appreciate the attempt. I love that. Oh, hey, oh, look at him. He's over there. He's looking at me. And I'm going to mass deploy. Step in that building. I dare you. And you did. And immediately started maintaining it. Look at it. This is the same mistake that Boone made earlier on today that cost them their territory. Now it's burning again. And they have to wait on a timer. Hey Z, head on over there to them. I'll take care of this for now. No, we are not. H-Loon is one of our primary competitors right now. See, I have to give you kudos. I really do. You are throwing everything you can at this single tower. I don't know what your alliance would do without you. Or definitely people like you. Yes, it's a 3v1 right now. Correct. Honestly, you should have that rally locked to ranged consistently. June Julia rallies tend to be a little bit squishy, so you need to keep an eye on them and try to avoid reinforcing them from a long distance, because it only creates the impression that it's a full rally when it's not. Well, I don't like that. Is it full? It's tier 6. You don't want to rally it? I can face you head on. I already scouted. Nothing in there. Yeah, I've been taking 1v1 1-to-1 trades with that whale the entire time. I've not been scared of Rise Against at all. I'm gonna do it. Do I go for the counter or go for the damage? I'll see what I can do. Give it to me. Nope. They're gonna surround it with other troops, so I'll rally it with that and go. Yeah, it caught me while I was walking away that I was took a bit more heavily wounded, but yeah, I can. When I face him, I can take him. Damn it. Okay. I need to scout this. 847, mostly infantry. well, mostly decent infantry. I kind of just want to throw this rally at it for the sake of killing off a bunch of troops. Of their troops, anyway. Adut Raigoro won't take a lot of damage, and if they try to swarm it, which, let's be honest, we know they will. Now, if somebody would like to rally this, I'm going to share this with the group. Who wants that rally? Hey Z, give me a couple of minutes to... Give me 1 minute to get my rally out there, and then start going nuts on them. Because they're going to target me, and I'm going to have the counter damage for it. Ooh, I'm on it. No. Get them all. Up to 55 million. I need to get to 80. So I can get some more fragments for this war drone. Thank you for filling that up. Don't fix it immediately. Yeah, once we do this rally, yeah. Let this counter damage do some... Yeah, this isn't going to work. I'm just going to watch it, let it get down to a reasonable amount, and I'll cancel. Nope. Not much on the tower, but was killing off troops around it. They're dealing with deaths. Their hospitals are full. Oh, what was your question? Sorry. If you don't mind repeating it, because I probably did not answer it. I really need this to focus on. Yeah, what was your question, if you don't mind asking it again? Yes. Okay, I did answer that one. You fill it with only archers, but the idea is to go ahead and limit the rally itself to those to that troop type. It makes it harder to do if you haven't already done that. If that makes sense. Look at that rally. Look at it go. Yes. Ranged rallies don't really have the defensive prowess to handle being swarmed or counter rallied for that matter. So they tend to be run it for 5 minutes, get the heck out, kind of. Get over here, you silly. Get back here. Aw. Okay, back to defense. Oh, walk towards it. I dare you. I will wait to port until you get close. Pakabumi, Don Leo, got every troop under the sun in there. Let me create a subpar troop to send infantry. A Don, I'm gonna send your no. We need to focus on the ones back there. Well, hello, Adrian, and thank you for subscribing. No, Ortezi. Nagant's the better reinforcement there, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'll mass deploy. No. I've been not doing so much with Arena lately. With the way we have things set up, I keep my power low so that for the first 5 days of the week, anyone can be able to beat me, push themselves up to the top 20 and be able to get that carbon fiber. That way we can, the carbon steel. So we can spread that around. Then I will actually set my defense for the final day, like the weekend, which is at like 24 million, and then I can hold on to like a 16 or 17 position. Oh man, that's a shame. We almost had it. Where is that other tower? Here it is. Yeah, woke him up. Let's see, reinforce. I need to send one. Don't have any Vanguard yet? Oh, red gear. It's been making a huge difference for me. I need to remove just one set, and I'll remove one of the T4. I'll remove you, have the squad return, and then I can reinforce with a full set of those two. I was going to say, is it already a 4? Oh, only T6? Okay, there we go. Ah, damn. Well, what I will do is I'll go ahead and march those units over. My current talent tree isn't really specified for garrison, but it's a solid infantry only team. There are some other people who run like garrison tree talents, but the way I run mine, I focus on infantry buffs over garrison buffs. Run away! There we go. So yeah, this is the one I have on my Raigoro. I don't need as much healing because I'm running Thunder, so I focus on a little bit more stat points in infantry, picking up damage control and infantry guard. Who's hitting me? Yeah, that was dumb. That didn't work. You didn't bring enough troops for that. A lot of good stuff. Which one got scouted? Is it this one? Are they coming after this one? Sorry then, I was gonna say, I was about to pull my infantry back from that. And you are actually gonna let this one go. So I will be joining this defense. So many KCAP pictures. So many. You can't hit worth a damn. Okay, I have 250 some odd troops here. Yeah, 250,000. Damn it. Not quite. Someone else joined. Let's take a look at DH. Honestly, RVSS is pushing them back right now. They actually had their level 7 taken by LTF without much resistance, to be honest. That gave RVSS a chance to recover, and they're pushing DH back at the moment. I'm curious to see if they'll do anything about this, but as you can see, they've had quite a bit of burning going. Give me just a second, Adrian, and actually I'll send that to you now. This is my talent tree for Tom, and here is my garrisons. Here's the one I use for my garrisons currently. Still taking so much damage. Oh, good lord. That would be absolutely nuts. And that's fine. Tom will work just fine. You want to stay away from there we go. And he can't. Did it succeed or did he cancel? Aw, he had to cancel. Get the... You can't fight me in the field. Okay, a 1.6 running Jin Lewis. Oh yeah, this is a cakewalk. I need to remove those riders. Z, remove the riders. Okay, cool. As to your question, I apologize I didn't get to this sooner. We had a couple of issues with it early on in the game, back in like the first few islands. However, it's been less of a problem of late. Usually it becomes, if you treat people with respect, they treat you with respect kind of thing. And more often than not, it seems like people want to be against us, not because we're bad people, but because we tend to make fights enjoyable. Oh, hit that Maya Martin thing. I've got a little bit left for you. Heal for 13 days. Got a few more heals left. Oh, reinforcement capacity is full. Very nice. Very nice. Look at all that. Okay. I got a little bit more. I've got a little bit more in me. Okay, I've got 12 minutes left on the timer, and honestly, it's getting a little late for me. Claim all of that. Yeah, just where do you want my garrison? Oh, I will. Okay. Well, it's full now. There, riders in range removed, fill it up. I will set a defense buff. And actually, I will go ahead and put the rest of my infantry in there. You all as well, give them help. Well, that's it from me. It's getting pretty late, so I'm not going to take the time to do an update on the different islands because I doubt there's any position changes at the moment. So I'll give my updates on next stream tomorrow night, and hopefully we get to see a little bit more interesting combats once the level 8's open, because I'm sure, especially in G1, that's going to be interesting to watch. So with that, I hope so too, Smoke. I hope so too. But with that, this is Mr. Brain, your friendly neighborhood gaming dad, signing off. You all have a wonderful night.